Under the bright lights and crazy fun of Las Vegas, something really serious is going on. Scientists and health folks are calling it a huge problem, a massive shift in how life works in this famous desert city. You just have to wonder, could the very thing that makes this city so appealing, its sunny weather, actually be its biggest threat? We've all heard people joke about, it's a dry heat, usually when it's super hot out, but in 2023, that dry heat actually killed too many people. Experts are saying last summer wasn't a fluke. It was a terrifying sneak peek at a deadly new normal. The entertainment capital of the world is fast becoming the heat stroke capital of the nation. The numbers are brutal and they really show a city on the edge of disaster. Imagine a city struggling with heat so bad it doesn't just make you uncomfortable, it literally stops your body from being able to survive. In July 2023, Las Vegas had an insane 16 days in a row where it was 110 degrees Fahrenheit or hotter. That wasn't just a tough stretch. It tied an all-time record from way back in 1961, long before global temperatures started climbing steadily. But what really laid bare how serious things were was what happened at night. For the first time ever, Las Vegas had a night where it never dropped below a crazy 95 degrees Fahrenheit. Seriously, think about that. 24 hours of non-stop crushing heat. No break, no chance for people or even the city itself to cool down. This wasn't just a hot day, it was a hot day followed by a hot night, trapping everyone in a constant cycle of stress on their bodies. Quick plug before we really get into this. What I'm talking about today with Vegas's deadly heat is just a tiny piece of a much bigger picture. I poured everything I know into a 42-page guide called The Self-Sufficient Garden Blueprint. If you're watching on TV, just scan the QR code on your screen with your phone camera. If you're on your phone or laptop, the link's in the pinned comment and at the top of the description. Or just type greenhavenvault.shop, super easy to remember. Okay. Now for the Las Vegas heat secret nobody talks about. This isn't just about record-breaking temperatures, though those are pretty scary on their own. This is about a city fighting a quiet, invisible killer that took 299 lives in Clark County in 2023. That shocking number more than doubles the 147 heat-related deaths from just the year before, in 2022. It shows a terrifying jump in a trend, a direct result of a city built in a desert basically cooking itself. And here's something every city planner and resident should pay attention to. A 2019 study said Las Vegas is the fastest warming city in the whole United States. The data shows that since 1970, the average summer temperature in Las Vegas has gone up by a whopping 5.76 degrees Fahrenheit. We're not just talking about a few degrees here. This is a massive shift in the climate that very few cities are seeing happen. One of the big reasons for this growing problem is something scientists call the urban heat island effect. Picture this. Huge areas of natural desert, which usually cool off a lot at night, have been paved over. Now, there are endless roads, concrete and dark buildings. These materials are really good at soaking up and holding on to heat, turning entire neighborhoods into gigantic energy-sucking heat traps. Studies have found that the ground in these built-up areas can be a brutal 10 to 20 degrees Fahrenheit hotter than in the surrounding, less developed desert. So, even if the official temperature at the airport is 110 degrees Fahrenheit, the asphalt a few miles away could be blasting out a scary 160 degrees Fahrenheit, or even 180 degrees Fahrenheit. That kind of heat is hot enough to cause second-degree burns on skin in seconds. It's a huge, immediate danger to anyone who falls on it. This isn't just some abstract science thing. It's a real problem that silently makes the city's overall heat burden even worse. The impact of this constant heat is massive, hitting everything from the city's power lines to its daily life. Think about the power grid. In July 2023, Nevada Energy, the company that supplies power to the state, saw its highest ever demand for electricity. On July 20th, it hit an unbelievable 8,574 megawatts. This wasn't because of some new tech boom, it was because almost every home and business in the valley was cranking their air conditioning. The never-ending hum of millions of AC units has become, as longtime residents put it, the soundtrack of the city in summer. But relying this much on AC comes with huge risks. Every degree hotter means more strain, pushing the system closer to brownouts or even widespread blackouts, which in extreme heat could turn deadly fast. And it's not just needing more power. Even flying, which is a massive part of Las Vegas's tourism, is getting hit. During past heat waves, airlines have had to cancel flights out of Harry Reid International Airport. Why? Because the physics of flying means hot, thin air reduces lift. A fully loaded plane just can't get enough lift to safely take off in extreme heat. Imagine how frustrated tourists would be, already fighting the heat only to find their flights canceled. Or even worse, their luggage left behind or being asked to give up their seats because the plane needs to be lighter. This isn't just a made-up scenario, it's something Las Vegas already deals with. It's a harsh reminder that climate change messes with every part of modern life, even the very air we fly through. how bad things have gotten has led to a big response. In December 2023, Clark County appointed its very first chief heat officer, De-Leon-Masuda. This is a brand new and super important position meant to bring together efforts to lessen the terrible effects of extreme heat across the whole county. It's a formal way of saying this isn't just a weather problem, it's an ongoing health and infrastructure challenge that needs dedicated, high-level leadership. Her appointment means the city is moving away from just reacting to crises and towards a proactive plan to help a city of 2.3 million people adjust to a future that's always going to be hotter. Making the immediate threat even worse is where Las Vegas is located. It's smack in the middle of the Mojave Desert, a place known for its dry conditions and historical extreme temperatures. What used to be the desert's natural challenge has been made way worse by human growth. Since the mid-1900s, Las Vegas has exploded in population and building. A small desert town has become a huge city, replacing natural desert with heat-absorbing concrete and asphalt, making the urban heat island effect even stronger. Where desert sand and rock would cool off pretty fast once the sun went down, the new city fabric holds on to heat like a giant oven. This is super important because when night doesn't bring enough cooling, people's bodies experience cumulative heat stress. Climate change, of course, isn't just some abstract idea. It makes everything else worse. It's like a constant background hum that makes every local heat event stronger. It raises the base temperature, making natural heat waves happen more often, more intensely, and last longer. Scientists all agree our greenhouse gas emissions are causing these global trends, and places like southern Nevada, which are already hot, are really feeling it. Dr. Eric Bandala, an assistant research professor of environmental science at the Desert Research Institute, DRI, in Nevada, is one of the top experts talking about this. He often brings up how bad Vegas's heat problem is, pointing out how little relief the city gets overnight now. He and many other climate scientists see the summer of 2023 not as a one-off thing, but as a chilling preview, a look into the new normal. Hey, quick thought. If what I'm sharing about Las Vegas's heat problem is blowing your mind, you'll love what's in the rest of the blueprint. The 4,000-year-old Persian self-watering trick, the endless fertilizer system using stuff you already have in your yard, the Three Sisters method that got my buddy Robert his best corn harvest in 40 years. And honestly, Robert is very particular about his corn. 5 secret tips master gardeners don't put out on YouTube, including one with aspirin water that sounds totally fake until you try it. Usually $97. Right now, it's $17. That's less than a bag of fertilizer at Home Depot, and you can get your money back within 30 days if you don't love it. No awkward "are you sure" emails. Just a refund. TV watchers, scan the QR, phone or laptop, check the pinned comment or description, or greenhavenvault.shop. Okay, back to the Las Vegas heat. Now the focus has completely changed from just surviving summer to actually changing the city's infrastructure and public health plans for a future that will always be hotter. The lack of cooling at night especially is a big new problem. It stops both people and buildings from recovering overnight, pushing everyone into a constant state of heat stress. The human cost, recorded by the Southern Nevada Health District, SNHD, for Clark County is a grim sign of this growing crisis. The 299 confirmed heat-related deaths in 2023 weren't spread out evenly. About 60% of these tragic deaths were among unsheltered people who often don't have shelter, access to cool places, or even water. But a lot also happened indoors, in homes without working air conditioning. This dispels the dangerous idea that only the most vulnerable are at risk. A broken AC in a super hot apartment can quickly become a deadly trap, showing that this is a widespread public health emergency affecting a huge number of people, even those who aren't homeless. Let's look closer at some of those alarming temperature records from July 2023. Beyond the 16 days in a row of 110 degrees Fahrenheit or more, July 20th, 2023 specifically made history with the warmest low temperature ever recorded in Las Vegas, 95 degrees Fahrenheit. This means for a full 24 hours, the air temperature never went below 95 degrees Fahrenheit. Imagine trying to sleep, trying to recover, when the air outside your window is still a searing 95 degrees and your home, maybe without good air conditioning, offers little relief. The human body struggles a lot to control its core temperature in leading to severe heat stress, heat stroke, and eventually organ failure. This specific statistic is what Dr. Eric Bandala and other experts point to as the most worrying trend. The truly deadly new normal. The fact that the highest temperature for the month hit 116 degrees Fahrenheit just adds another layer of extreme conditions to an already brutal summer. In total, 2023 had 38 days where it was 105 degrees Fahrenheit or hotter, and each of those days carried a major risk. Because of this extreme challenge, Clark County hasn't been completely sitting around. Besides hiring the chief heat officer, there's a real effort to try out new solutions. One promising idea is the Cool Pavement Initiative. Studies by the city of Las Vegas have shown that putting a light-colored reflective coating on asphalt can lower its surface temperature by a remarkable 10 to 20 degrees Fahrenheit. This seems like a simple fix, but it makes a big difference in reducing the urban heat island effect. After successful pilot programs in 2022, plans were announced in early 2024 to put these coatings on dozens of miles of neighborhood streets and even schoolyards. This is a multi-part approach aiming not just to protect adults, but also to make sure kids playing outside at school aren't exposed to dangerously hot surfaces. The misunderstanding around dry heat is really important here. So many people, even those who live in Las Vegas, repeat that phrase thinking it means the heat isn't as dangerous. While it's true that low humidity helps sweat evaporate faster, giving a temporary cooling feeling, this becomes dangerously misleading at extreme temperatures. When the air temperature goes above 105 or 110 degrees Fahrenheit, your body simply can't get rid of heat fast enough, no matter how dry the air feels. It's like being in a convection oven. Your core temperature just keeps going up, leading to quick dehydration, heat exhaustion, and eventually, potentially deadly heat stroke. It's a myth that has probably caused a lot of deaths, a false sense of security that makes a very real and immediate danger seem less serious. And the danger is absolutely not just for people experiencing homelessness or older folks, though those groups are definitely the most vulnerable and sadly make up too many of the death statistics. Extreme heat is a problem that hurts everyone. A young, healthy tourist, not used to the desert heat, spending hours walking the gleaming strip, maybe having a few alcoholic drinks which dehydrate you, can quickly get heat illness. Emergency rooms in Las Vegas routinely see a surge of heat-affected tourists every summer. Local residents are also at risk, especially those whose air conditioning breaks, or who, maybe because of money worries, try to save energy by setting their thermostats too high, or even turning off their AC. The strain on the power grid impacts everybody, and the chance of blackouts becomes a community-wide life or death threat. Flights getting grounded, more demand for water, these aren't isolated incidents. They're breakdowns in the system caused by a climate pushed to its breaking point. What's also really clear is that the danger isn't just during the day. This is a surprising and less-known fact, highlighted by the record-high overnight low temperatures in 2023. When temperatures don't drop much at night, your body loses its critical chance to recover. This lack of cooling at night causes heat stress to build up over several days. Your body simply can't cool down enough, leading to a dangerous accumulation of heat. This constant strain makes people more likely to get heat-related illnesses, even if the daytime temperatures aren't hitting new records. For those without dependable air conditioning, the nights can become almost worse than the days, turning their homes into inescapable hotboxes. You can't ignore the psychological impact of this constant heat either. Living in a city where escaping the heat means always being inside, always running energy-intensive air conditioning, changes how life feels. Kids can't play outside for most of the day during summer. Outdoor activities become morning-only or late-night things, if at all. It's not just annoying, it's a fundamental change to how good life is and how people connect with nature. The idea of Vegas as an open-air playground becomes much harder to imagine in a 110-degree reality. And let's not forget the surprising ways heat affects basic things. The fact that planes simply can't fly when it's too hot out of Harry Reid International Airport is a sharp reminder of how delicate modern technology is when faced with extreme environmental conditions. When the air is super hot, its molecules spread out, making it less dense. Planes need air density to create lift under their wings. If the air is too thin, the wings can't generate enough lift to get a heavy plane off the ground at normal takeoff speeds. This means weight limits, forcing airlines to take off passengers or cargo, or just cancel flights entirely. It's bad for business, a pain for travelers, and a clear example that even the strongest systems have their limits when pushed by extreme weather. Another almost unbelievable statistic is how hot asphalt can get. On a day with 110 degrees Fahrenheit air temperature, black asphalt in direct sunlight can get over 160 degrees Fahrenheit. That's literally hot enough to cook an egg, and definitely hot enough to cause severe burns on exposed skin in seconds. This is critical for emergency responders, construction workers, and anyone whose job requires them to be outside. Imagine what it's like for unsheltered people who can't avoid constant contact with such superheated surfaces. So, what about the future? The predictions for 2024 from NOAA's Climate Prediction Center don't offer much comfort. Their models still show a high chance of hotter-than-average temperatures for the southwest U.S. for the summer of 2024. This isn't just a one-time thing, a fluke. This is a trend, a clear path, and it means Las Vegas needs to get ready for sustained, intense heat for the foreseeable future. The phrase "new normal" isn't an exaggeration. It's what the science is telling us. The city and county are reacting, making real efforts, but the sheer size of the problem is huge. Beyond the cool pavement, And the chief heat officer, they're constantly looking at data to understand exactly what happened in the 2023 deaths. The SNHD keeps breaking down the numbers, figuring out where deaths happened, people's housing situations, if they had AC, all to help future public health actions. This means targeted programs, better use of resources, and clearer messages for communities most at risk. It's a race against time, a desperate effort to understand and fight a threat that gets worse every year. What experts are saying really shows how serious this is. Dr. Eric Bandala from the Desert Research Institute has repeatedly said that the rise in minimum nighttime temperatures is the biggest concern. He says this lack of overnight cooling is what will have the biggest public health consequences, creating a non-stop 24-hour heat stress cycle. Other researchers from UNLV and DRI often agree, saying, "We've built a city in a desert that's really good at absorbing heat. We have replaced the natural environment with asphalt, concrete, and buildings. It's a problem the city created for itself, made worse by a global issue, trapping the city in a cycle of constantly rising temperatures." The general feeling among public health officials after the 2023 death numbers came out was essentially, 2023 was a wake-up call. The data clearly shows we've entered a new stage of this crisis. We're not just planning for a hotter future anymore, we're living in it. This isn't just theory, it's happening right now and it's terrible. The question then becomes, what does a city do when its very existence, its booming economy, and the safety of its people are seriously threatened by an uncontrollable force of nature made worse by humans? Las Vegas is trying to paint itself white, literally, with reflective coatings. It's creating new administrative jobs to coordinate a city-wide effort. It's trying to teach its population, showing why dangerous myths like "it's a dry heat" are wrong. But can these efforts keep up with the accelerating pace of climate change? Can a city built on luxury and artificial environments truly adapt to a reality where nature is starting to take over again? The story of Las Vegas and its deadly summer heat isn't just a local problem, it's a smaller version of the global climate challenge. It's a warning, a clear example of what happens when fast development in a sensitive environment crashes into the undeniable power of a warming planet. The lessons learned, the strategies developed, and sadly the tragic mistakes made in Las Vegas will be a stark, incredibly valuable guide for countless other cities around the world dealing with their own rapidly changing climates. The bright lights of the Strip might still shine, but underneath them a desperate fight for survival is happening. A battle against a quiet, relentless, and increasingly deadly enemy. The stakes couldn't be higher. Alright friend, before you click away, let me ask you something honestly. Are you sick of watching grocery prices go up every single week? Are you tired of every gardening expert online trying to sell you fertilizer, gadgets, and a $400 raised bed kit when your grandma grew enough food to feed 7 kids on a quarter acre with just a hoe and pure stubbornness? Yeah, me too. That's why I made the Self-Sufficient Garden Blueprint. 42 pages, 10 free systems, 2 bonus chapters including the medicine garden, which alone saved Patricia from Ohio over $200 a year on supplements. Those are her words. $17. One time. It's yours forever. 30-day money-back guarantee. And look, I'm not going to make you explain why you want a refund. You don't like it? I send your money back. Adults talking to adults. Watching on TV? Grab your phone, open your camera, scan the QR. Done. On your phone or laptop, link in the description or pinned comment, or just type greenhavenvault.shop into your browser. greenhavenvault.shop. Start with Chapter 1, the soil fix. Do it this weekend. In 30 days, your soil will be completely different. No pressure, no fake countdown timers, no this offer expires in 5 minutes. Nonsense. Just one gardener telling another about something I made that I'm proud of. Go grab it. I'll see you in the next video. The relentless sun, which used to symbolize the desert's charm, is now a tough enemy. The famous slogan, "What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas," has a new, terrifying meaning. What happens to the climate in Vegas might not stay confined to its borders, but could serve as a grim warning to all of us.